let's do this. Alright, I think everything is holding. It's always a good day when everything wants to hold and not drop out. There we go. Looks like we've got the lights on. Good. Whee! Not quite set up yet, but you never get first. That's all good, Jules. Samsara's pretty quick on it. I have a sneaking suspicion that the stream might have been up ready so that she could smack it straight away. The music's loud. Thank you. Let me know if that's a bit better. I can adjust accordingly. I did all my volume checks and then I was just playing music to pump me up, and I probably didn't even think and just changed the volume. Down a little more. Okay. You're still at home today? Feeling better? I'm glad you're at least feeling better, Jules. But sucks you're still at home, but probably for the best. Need lots of rest. Lots of recovery. That sounds better? Good. Yeah, I did sound check and then I think I probably just didn't even think and changed on my volume while I was playing my pump up music before stream, because I was trying to get myself, you know, in the right headspace. We're feeling very shattered today, to be perfectly honest. I almost did not stream because I just feel exhausted, but you know, I have a little routine to try and get me in the right headspace and get myself pumping, and so far we can push ourselves. But yeah, it's probably going to be a little chiller today. We'll see how we go. Usually by the time I get into stream, I usually end up hyping up a bit more as well. So, you know, I made it to the bed without coughing. I'm proud of you too, Jules. So yes, as you can see, we have a new page in front of us. We're going to be starting a brand new page today. I wasn't sure. I haven't been sure for the last couple of days what I was going to do, but I was chatting with the colouring group little chat that I have, and we've decided that we're going to do a buddy colour in this book. It's just going to be like a bit of an ongoing one, which is Mythical Hybrids by Jash. So every like creature in here is a mixture of animal and human. They're really cool. So the lion one was one that came out, which I was very happy about because abs are delicious to colour. So I'm looking forward to the abs. But also strong woman. Like, strong woman be strong. She's very hot. Look at all her muscles. Like, she's got like super strong shoulders. It's gonna be fun to colour this body type. And yeah, so this is one of the ones that was asked for, and I was like, I am down to colour the lion page. They did ask if I would do some sort of colour along, so rather than doing a full colour along, I was like, I'll just do it as a Twitch stream / YouTube stream, and then the VOD can go up, and hopefully, so there will be a bit of a focus on these streams to try and be a little bit more tutorial-y as well. So we'll be trying to mention the colours I'm using, the techniques I'm doing, and trying to talk about things a little bit more, because this is a VOD of a live stream, but it's also meant to be a little bit more tutorial based. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, we all know I get distracted. She could definitely carry you groceries up the stairs. Oh yeah, she definitely could. So the plan for this is we do have a fading forest background here. At least that's how I interpret these lines. So I know that I want to have the center be golden and then like radiate out into trees. We're going to be dealing with a lot of browns and golds and tan tones because of course our lion is going to be setting a lot of our colors. because we're going to translate those colors across to her. So one of the first elements we will color is the lion. We also have all this beautiful greenery. We have some flowers, which I need to figure out what to do. And then we have the these plants, which we talked about last stream too, which I was like, after talking about them last stream, we've got them. So, but they are browns and greens. So there's going to be a lot of greens and browns again, which I know the last major image I did on stream was also a lot of greens and browns, but you know, I don't mind. Do I have a box of tissues around here? I do. Good. My nose is itchy and slightly running. Will you do the fabric sheer or opaque? I'm not sure at this stage. It has been designed as opaque. So if I do it sheer, I'm going to have to do some like sketching of the actual body in there. Yeah, I think we'll probably be doing like some golden armor at least. There'll definitely be some non-metallic metals. Because I just feel like the breastplate and stuff should be gold. But yeah, I mean the harem style pants could possibly be sheer, but I will need to like go in there and sketch out where a line would fit if I was to do that, because you would have the indication of a leg. You wouldn't have everything, but it could be done sheer. We could do sheer when we get to it, because like you don't have to add in all the detail. You just need to know the basic, like, okay, ends here, comes down here, this leg goes here, goes there, and then you can just sort of block in the color and then do the fabric on top, because you just need to have the tint of the skin tone underneath. So it is a possibility that we could do sheer. But yes, I have my notes tracker ready to go. I have a couple of references around for a lion, which I'm just going to get that one up. Should have done all this before stream. So that gives us like some ideas of colors and things to consider. And of course we will be working in our polychromos. Polychromos are going to be essential for this, because those hard tips will really help with being able to produce detailed hair and fur texture. So we're going to be looking a lot at our yellows and browns, of course. And we also have to keep in mind that we have a golden reflect coming this side as well. So I'm going to start by pulling out some staples. I've got Nut Warm Grey 6. I always pull that one instead of dark sepia. How gold versus brown are you going if there's lots of brown already? It'll be interesting. We're gonna have to really focus on making sure we have a variety of tones. So like if you look in the lion, we have a lot of golds moving into a darker brown, and then more warm, sort of verging more on the bistre, and probably with a little bit of warmth, so we might need to bring in like some of the burnt ochre and terracotta to bring in some of that warmth as well. But what that means is when we get to here, for example, like we've got those goldy tones of the upper mane, and we can pull those into her hair. And then we've got those darker, rich chocolate tones, so we could look at doing her skin like a dark chocolate, and then like her breastplate, that really bright gold as well. Like, it's just going to be about making sure we have enough variety in all our golds and browns to make it read with enough interesting dimension. And it's entirely possible, like we've also got the white around the face, so we have got some paler tones, so we could bring in some whites. We've got a few options. But yeah, to be perfectly honest, I haven't planned it out in detail. I never plan it out entirely. I've got like a concept, but it'll be also as we colour in, because we'll have like the brown trees fading into yellow here. So I know we want to avoid, like, the background we'll try and do like really bright yellow, which will also help this pop out a bit more, even if the trees have got a bit of the darker browns in it. And then we've also got like the rocks or branches and the grass down here. So we will also have some green in here. So we've got some green up the top here in the leaves and the vines. That'll help balance out our greens, but we may also need to bring in some greens and greys and browns from the ground as well, which is why I usually start with background elements and then finish on the main character or the main focus of the page, because then I have my colors set and I know what I need to pull in to help bring the whole page together. So yeah, we're going to start with the lion today, and then if I imagine the lion's going to take me quite a bit. Alright, let's pull out some favourite browns, and I just spoke about burnt ochre, so we'll pull out that to get our warmer tones. Get some Naples yellow. Brown ochre bistre. Okay, let's just pull out basically all the browns. All the nubbins. And then while we're here, we'll just also pull out all the warm greys. Like, I don't know if I'm going to need them all, but it's going to be a heck of a lot easier to have all these out. And then pull what we need. Alright, do we want any reds? I think we're okay. As long as we did get warm grey 1, because I know I need that one. We did. Alright, let's get this case out of the way. Lion. So many nubs. I have replacements for all of these because they were all ordered in the emergency pencil order. Oh, so how are we all going today? Oh, excuse me. As I said, I am feeling very shattered today. Alright, so again, we have got a bit of a back glow and side glow. So, I know we're going to want some golden outlines. In fact, I should have pulled out the yellow. Alright, Alright, so just to remind myself, I'm going to start with 106 light chrome yellow. Move you all over here so my mic is actually where I'm talking instead of off to the side. That might help. So we know that we've got a golden glow happening from behind, so everything is going to have a bit of an edge highlight. So I'm just going to start by putting that in place, and this will remind me that this is our light source. Now most of the time when I start working on these pages, the very first thing I colour on the page, I don't end up pushing the contrast enough, and we need to come back and refine it later when we have more elements on the page. So it's also something to keep in mind. It's probably going to need more work later on, but we have to start somewhere, you know. Ruby, hello. Hello, beautiful humans. About to head to work, but I'd be remiss if I didn't say hi, hello, and hope the day leads slightly less shatter. Hopefully I'll be able to work in a bit. That's all good, lovely. Never apologise for having to live your life and do the things you gotta do to survive. Work is essential. I appreciate you popping in, even for a moment. Right, 106 is officially our first colour on the page. Part of me is tempted to just like start going in with the black. So like, it's fine. It's like, no. Right, so if I look at our reference, so it's kind of like a top half and then this lower half gets darker brown. So there's almost like a ring here, so that would actually be a really good point to start bringing in our darker browns. So we're going to start, and I'm using Van Dyke brown. I'm just going to mark this section. This will help us break it up a bit. Know that's where we're going into our slightly darker mane, because there's a bit of a gradient. And of course this is 176 Van Dyke brown. It's one of my favorite browns. I use it almost every coloring page. It's just a very good brown. Alright, so that kind of gives the markings of where we're going to split the thing. My nose is so itchy today. I got my blood work back and it was showing that I was having a full allergic reaction. So I'm not surprised. Alright, so we want inside the ear to have a bit of shadow. Oh, thank you, Ruby. That was perfect timing. Everybody hydrate. Alright, so we have a little bit forward here. that would cause some shadows. So I'm starting to use this as a shadow tone on the skin. And we've got some of the structure in place. Excuse me. I feel like I'm going to be doing that a bit today. Again, I feel absolutely shattered. I'm yawning like a lion friend here. Now, around the face, the fur is quite a short texture. So I'm just trying to work in little circles and just blend out. And kind of let the graininess of the page peek for a little bit, and that'll help give like the texture of the fur, the very short fur around here. Oh my goodness. I'm also going to go over the nose. Alright, I did write down 176, and now I want, I think, Bistro? Yeah, I think it's pronounced Bistro. Nope, that's Floramba. 179, 179. A lot of these pencils are getting very tiny, but I have backups for lots of them, and a couple of them I have double backups for because I'm having to do the emergency pencil order at Samsara's. I really do need to sit down and go through my polys and work out what ones need restocking. And also order a pencil case that has more than 120 slots so I can keep the spares in the case as well. And then we won't have the issue next time we travel that we had at Sammy's, where I had to place an emergency $70 order to get a few pencils because I didn't have more than just my little nubs. Right, let me just check something too. Users in chat. Cool. Okay, she's not here. She doesn't watch my VODs, so that's fine. Haha. Just checking if my mum was here, because my mum does pop into stream. And I'm also working on one of her favourite animals, because she loves cats, so I wouldn't be surprised if she sees my story and pops in for a while. But I ordered some stuff. Oh, not screen recordings. I want screenshots. Where are my screenshots? There we go. I ordered something. So I have my 9 years of streaming / 6 years of affiliate stream coming up at the start of February. So I decided we are going to do a little DIY kit. This is a gorgeous little flower shop. Looked really pretty. So I was like, okay, we're going to do that one. Looks like a lot of work, but I think it'll be fun for something different. But because it's classified as a toy, it was buy one get one half price. And my mum has recently decided to get a few Sylvanian families getting into just the cats. She had some flyby points to use up, and so she ordered a set of black cats, and then she's getting another set delivered today. So I decided to also grab her this, which is a baby calico cat with a little playset. She has no playset yet, she just has the 2 cat families. And it's a little hot air balloon playset. It's very cute, but because it was half price, it actually wasn't too bad. So I'm very excited to be able to treat my mum, because it's not often I can treat my mum. I mean, it's going on Afterpay, but you know, sometimes it's nice to be able to do a little something. And my mum is also one of those people that's incredibly hard to buy for, because she's like, normally for mum she can get them like, you know, when it's Mother's Day, you see the stores and they put out like baskets of lotions and hand creams and all that sort of stuff. My mum is allergic to almost everything on the planet, skin wise, so every one of those is out. Chocolate is a safe bet, but she also buys herself chocolate, so it's not too much of a treat. She's also crafty, so she can make everything I make. She doesn't draw like me, so I can do drawings for her, but you know, you can't just give a drawing every year to her, you know? So yeah, and it's like, she has a very specific fabrics of clothes and doesn't really care too much about clothes and stuff, so it's like there's not a lot that you can buy for her often, so it's nice to be able to treat her to something. We don't do a lot of gifts in our family anyway, but yeah, I was just like, I'm really excited to be able to actually gift her something, because it's not often I can actually afford to gift her something. Like sometimes when I pop up to see her, I'll stop at I used to, when I had the car, stop at a bakery for her and grab her like donuts, or you know, bring her little things like that. So yeah, just working very lightly and gently and starting to build up some dimension and tones. We are of course going to have to push our contrast a bit. Now around the nose is fully covered, so we can get a bit more in our nose area, and it's this area where it goes a bit more white. So in here, make sure we track our colours. And this was Bistro, which is 179. What warm grey do we want? I think we want warm grey 2. My tiny one? Yeah, let's go for the tiny one. Paul's birthday tomorrow. Luckily COVID didn't ruin the little surprise I had for him. I'll send you a pic later of what I've created at home. Ooh, sounds exciting. I'm sorry you're stuck at home for it, but wish him a happy birthday from me. So many January babies. My presents is a little more creative than Spend Funny too. They're the best sort of presents to give, and that's usually what I do try to give people. I do love creating things for people. It's just, yeah, with someone like my mum who can do almost everything I can do, it's very awkward. Because it's like, I could crochet you. Oh wait, you crochet. I could make you this jewelry. Oh wait, you make jewelry and you actually have a jewelry making business and do this professionally. I could yeah. So the safe bets are chocolate. I can now bring you some fresh bread, because that's something she doesn't have. Yeah. So in the past, like, I still organize gifts when we do gifts for my brothers, because at least a little more supportive, a little more, I was reading chat, a little bit more onto it than my brothers. So the last one we did for her big birthday, and I messaged my brothers and was like, hey, let's all go in together so we have more funds, because mum really needs a new bag, and she needs a new bag for the markets. She actually uses this bag as her handbag instead of market bags, but hey, she's using it. And so we put all our money together and we got a little black handbag and then also one of her favourite perfumes. So it was just like a way to do it, and I could organise that. Right, so we're just blending in our warm grey into our bistré just to create that lighter area that's around the whiskers, and we'll need to bring this down to the bottom as well under the mouth using our reference as sort of our inspiration here. It won't be exact, but tying it in. It's also an Ison day. I need to ask for social links on Ison and get all that sorted. Doing that right now while I remember. I'm trying to get back into the habit of, might have to start setting an alarm again. I did that for a while and then I got really onto it, so I removed the reminder. And then I'll get the events made as well. I'm lucky, so supportive. He's lovely. It's part and parcel sometimes though, like the day specifically, like it's not about when you celebrate, it's who you celebrate with and choosing to celebrate in a way that you enjoy. I really enjoyed my birthday streams this year. That was a really fun way to do my birthday and being able to give away all the art cards, and I just had a blast with it. And I learnt today that Jester, our main prize winner, has gotten their package, so they posted that in the Discord, which is lovely. So a few more of our international friends should be starting to receive their cards soon. Now a few of the Kiwis have received theirs. Right, so we need to go a little lighter now. We need to start bringing in some warmth. So we're using bistré. I have the green golds and I also have some of these light yellows in. I think we'll start with a little bit of brown ochre. What do you like? Yeah, no, not quite. Maybe we do just skip over to Naples ochre, which is dark Naples ochre. 184. But before we do, warm grey 2 is 271. And then while we're here, let's also write down 184. Do a little swatch. So this is really more on the highlights of the face, almost areas that the golden glow would also be touching. So we can kind of expand upon the edge highlighting a bit. So like the brow bow here, we have a couple of elements that are forward facing, so we can make those a bit warmer. Just blend in these edges a little bit. And so like up here we have, it's almost like a cheekbone. Help just bring some of those highlights in. Also got a little bit on the edge of the whiskers area. Just gently blending that in. That one's very subtle, so we don't want to go too intense. And then I think probably will use some brown ochre, because this is a good medium between the two. I'd love to see that closer. The lion that we're working on. I can bring you down. Absolutely. Let me just adjust the lighting, because I realise we're also getting shadows today. That might help. Ha! Looks like we're still in focus too. Does that help? It's one of the things that I want to do is actually have another camera so that I can have like an overall view and then the close-up view. Although it might be a bit awkward with all the lights and stuff in the way. But to have maybe like a camera at the top looking over the whole page, you can see it in perspective of the whole page, but then we can also go right in and we can see all the close details. But yes, something that I've realised is that I have a tendency to be too far out, and I need to actually bring you guys in more. So and then the other thing I have a tendency to do is colour like this and completely block what I'm doing. So I'm trying to also teach myself to be better at colouring it with my fingers it like further away so that you can see what I'm doing as well. We're trying, y'all. Now you can see what I meant about the shading. Fantastic. Thank you for pointing that out, Jules. I appreciate that. It's something I actually thought of last night while I was editing and just reviewing a Year of the Dragon page that I just completed. And then was editing the footage until like 2:30 a.m. So yeah, we're just working very, very lightly. Because you can with polys, they are wonderfully translucent and they build up layers. I almost pulled out original drawing today because I've had this idea for an original drawing. I've had lots of ideas for original drawings lately. I've had an idea for a new Ison poster, Jules. No, I've been meaning to message you and be like, do we have like actual descriptions of the character? Like, I know we've got the official art, but I'm like, do we have like proper character descriptions that actually like fully flesh out what they're wearing and stuff? I mean, I can just message the cast, but I had an idea for water and I was like, I might need to do that. So we'll see how I go with spoons. I'm trying to be conscious of my spoons level this year a lot more. Hard to be perfect. Your colouring work is amazing. I see hard to think of everything at the same time. Thank you. There's a couple of things that I want to achieve this year, and one of them is to produce better quality content. But with live streams in particular, it doesn't feel like content. It just feels like I'm hanging out with friends and colouring. So it is my favourite content to create because it's actually not, it doesn't feel like content. And that's why I was like, I'm actually going to do this lion page as a live stream because A, this is going to be a lot of work. So this is going to keep us going for a while on the streams. But I find I am better at describing what I'm doing at the time. Also, wouldn't you? It changes a foot. Yeah, I also did wonder about that. So good to know. I thought about probably need some updated art anyway. We just need some fan art in general. So the idea will keep. But yeah, I find that when I am live streaming, I'm a lot more, because there is that interaction, you all can ask questions as well, like things that I don't explain clearly, people can ask questions on, I can clarify. Whereas when I try to record a video and I have to sit down and kind of script it, it just isn't as natural. And I think I'm explaining stuff correctly, but I'm also aware of how my brain works with words and the difficulty I have in processing words now. Like, yo, I feel like my brain in these last couple of years is just slowing down so much. It's also part of the reason why I wanted to do this Terreo course, because I feel like having some structured learning will also help me. Like, I feel like my brain isn't being challenged anymore like it was when I was studying for school. So the induction for that is this Thursday, and I hope they have the elevator fixed by then, but it's not likely. Right, I did write down... No, I did not write down brown ochre. The last thing I did was a dark maples ochre, so let's write down brown ochre, which is 182. We might need to keep going down with the boxes because we're going to be using quite a few colours here. Another extender. So we have our dark sepia, which, if you know anything about me, you know this is also one of my favourite browns. Van Dyke Brown and Dark Sepia are two browns I use a lot. Dark Sepia is a gorgeous desaturated brown, and it's a fantastic shadow colour. So I'm going to use that to just push these shadows a bit more, because while there's shadows in there, there's not a lot of contrast. And especially with the dramatic lighting that we're going to have with the background, there would be quite a bit more contrast. And we may need to push this further after I do some more shading, as I said, because right now things may look right on the page, but we've got a lot of white on the page, and when we start filling in colours, things will change. So this bottom section here would be very much in shadow. So just working in small tiny circles and just gently layering it up so we get a nice smooth blend. So the top of the eye has quite a bit of darkness. And then we've got the nose, which I actually forgot to shade entirely, so we'll come back and shade that in a moment. And that's all in golden. Alright, so we're going to use that 106, which is technically our edge colour. But we're also going to use that for the eye itself, because this is a very bright yellow and it'll help our eye pop. We'll take our dark sepia and go right back in that center, and I will be using a white Posca, and I'll put a sharp little highlight in there, and that'll help our eye pop. Also remember, there would be a shadow cast from this brow bone, so we're going to go right across the top, just add a little bit of shade at the top there so the eyes just pop that little bit more. Right, make sure we write down dark sepia, which is 175, and then let's go back to our bistre and ochre. Going to bring this down the nose ever so slightly, then come in with our brown ochre, which is our slightly warmer tone. Shade that one in place. And a bit of our dark Naples ochre. the nose is quite a bit lighter. It would be getting a lot more of the highlights, but it's also just a warmer area. Alright, so the only thing that it's really missing now is that slight red undertone. Because we've used a lot of cooler browns, it's looking a little on the grey side. So this is where we're going to use our burnt ochre, which is 187. It's sort of like a pale terracotta is a way to describe it. And it is 187. So this will give us that little bit of orangey red warmth. So we're doing, I call them glazing layers, where we just work a very light coat over the majority. And we're going to bring this into the ear a little bit and expand that one out, because the ears are actually slightly warmer and then they have fur on the end. So we'll do the rest with the mane. That brings in a bit of warmth to our ears as well. Now we're starting to get that slight warmth to the page. And this is why I like polys, because you can just look at it and go, that's slightly too cool. Pull out a warm tone and just glaze over it, and then just warm up. Add a little tint of colour without changing too much of what you've put in place. Alright. I'm just looking at the camera and I actually think the colour balance is slightly out. So give me a second. Let's actually make the white of the paper actually white. We have to turn the brightness way up. I don't know what it is about my camera at the moment. It's very like running dark. I had this issue last night too. Alright, I think we're okay there. It'll change as we put more colours into the page too. Tends to struggle when I first start a page. Alright, I'm just going to change this to the lion body, because we'll do the lion's mane separate. So we still have like the inside, and I'm pretty sure this is like the edge of the mouth, but I need to find a picture of like a lion roaring with its mouth open to look at that. But we'll move on to its body for now, because it's actually very similar tones to the face. So we can use these same colours again. So if we kind of look at our reference, again, it is a different pose, but I liked the colours in this one. So this is why I kind of used this as a reference. I just Googled a lion. So what I like, so we can bring in our warm greys to the feet here, because if you look at the feet, they are quite light with a bit of shading around the claws, and the claws I think are going to be in our warm greys too. And then we've got a lot of darkness underneath, and then a lot of muscle structure too, which is quite fun. So you can see I've done my yellow right over to here, because a lot of this would be blocked by her, but there would be a bit of a general golden yellow glow. I'll bring a little bit on here too, because that's kind of our lighting source. So under here would be quite dark, and this edge here would also have some glow because we're doing a backlighting. Now that bit jutting out is a bit strange. I think that might actually just be the way the knees are. And we've got a bit of a belly under here. Now does your leg carry on there, or does no, your leg comes down here. That's fine, so that's all background. And it carries on up there, and then I imagine the other leg comes right off the side here. Right, so even though a lot of our light would kind of be a bit blocked here in real life, I am going to extend the yellow just a little further, because it's going to help with our definition of the structure, and also it's just really pretty and it's fun to play with light. So we're just going to exaggerate our light a little bit. Because we can, you know. Alright, so we know dark sepia is our dark right now, so under here would definitely be very dark, and also up here under the mane. So I'm going to start under the mane and very carefully work around all these gorgeous little hairs. Oh my gosh, folks, it's already been an hour. I'm just about to be pinged to remind us that it's self-care time. Time flies. So, if you are new to the channel, every hour for 3 minutes we put down our pencils and we do some stretches and we do some self-care. So it's also your reminder of a check-in. Have you stretched? Have you hydrated? Do you need to take medication? What do you need to do to look after yourself this hour? Do you need to grab a snack? I of course will be stretching. I stretch every hour. It helps incredibly with my back. It's one of the best initiatives we put on the channel. So we will be stretching and also hydrating. All right, let's start this 3 minutes and let's do some wiggles. Oh. Begin the wiggles. Definitely a bit locked up today. It's a bit harder to wiggle than usual. Now it's looking incredibly yellow. Just realized. Oh god, it's going to be one of those pages that we have issues with the color balance on. It's my other preset, which is going to make it a bit dark. You're going to have to trust me. Normally I have issues with blues and purples, but it appears today we're having issues with the browns. Oh, the cookies are gone again. That's okay, Vi. I am also out of cookies. I'm out of a lot of snacks. But how are you going, lovely? I'm having color balance issues with the camera today. Alright, if you follow me, Sandwich as well. Hello. I have just put a photo up on my Instagram story. It is a little bit better in terms of the color balance, and you can actually see some of the shading. So, yeah, having one of those yesterday too. It's not much fun. I'm doing well, running into another meeting. All good. Enjoy the work lurk. Best of luck. Appreciate you popping in as always. And Sandwich, very appropriate raw. We're going to be doing a lot of yellow on this page, so I think you'll enjoy lots of yellows and browns and golds, and should be quite fun. So we were working with our dark sepia to get our dark shadow base in, because of course underneath here would be getting almost no light. Now I did try to find a reference of a lion in this pose, and it was surprisingly difficult. So we're gonna have to kind of figure it out as we go along. Alright, where? Oh, where? There you are. favorite brown. So, of course, we've got our Van Dyke brown. So many years I used to call this Dick Van Dyke brown because I just couldn't wrap my head around Van Dyke brown. Just a really good chocolatey brown. It's also a good neutral brown, so it works well for warming up or cooling down. There's a reason why it is featured a number of times in my Nub retirement home. How are you going today, Sandwich? Are we working on the next costume, or are we just having a well-deserved rest day? Okay, so now we want to start indicating some of the general shadows. So there would be a little bit of a shadow behind the feet, and that will also just help us define the feet. It's a very small shadow. And then we've got this muscle structure as well that has very kindly been drawn in by Jash. I did try to see if Jash had like any officially released free pages, and the only place I could find any was actually via Colouring Heaven. So I have updated the freebies link with the Colouring Heaven freebies page, which has got a bunch of free artists pages on there. Not just Jash, but there is a couple of Jash. There's a lot of really gorgeous pages too. I'm completely off frame. Wow, good job, Amy. It would have been a perfect time for... I did set up the replacement sound alerts now, so there's 2 new sound alerts. There is a, I think it's called Success or Victory. Oh no, it's a victory sound, and then there is a rip sound. I just thought those would be fun to put in and try for a while. Alright, again, just a very minimal amount of shading behind the legs here. And then there is actually structure to these legs. It's not all been drawn in, but we have some muscles in the forearm. We've also got a bit of foreshortening here, which is like one of my least favorite things. It's already hard enough to make a flat 2D object look 3D, and then you chuck in like weird twisting from the fact that something has been foreshortened because of perspective. Yuck. So yes, we are heading into February, which is February, and I am very excited. It's going to be quite a few fae that I want to colour next month. I also have a ton of buddy colours, which isn't a bad thing, but we've already got a very busy month lined up. And then of course my multi-class starts as well, which I'm actually really excited for. So I have induction for that this Thursday, and then I did have a list of it because there is a couple of things. Did I even put it in the calendar? I put the induction in. Not the induction, the interview. Yeah, so on Thursday. And there's still an issue too of there has to be enough people that choose my class time, because there's a few different options of class times, and I can only do the Thursday day because the Thursday evening, I don't want to have an evening class, but that is kind of a backup, but it would affect my D&D game that I'm in. And then the other one is Wednesday night, which is when Fate of Ison is. So, but also I don't want to go to a night class. I know how shot I get at night after work, and it also starts at 6, and I don't finish work till 6:30. So the night classes are just multiple levels of no, so I can only do the Thursday day class, but it is the only day class, so I am hopeful that there'll be other people like me who can only do a day class. And then I have the classes, so it's only 3 hours a week, and then you've got self-directed learning as well. We also have some sort of weekend event and a 4-day event at Mariah's and stuff like that, which you have to attend one of them, but I want to talk to them about like accessibility, obviously, and like if that involves staying, because if that involves staying, like if we have to stay at the Mariah, that presents a whole new level of challenge for me. But when I was speaking to the course coordinator before I signed up, because it's like I just have questions about accessibility, it sounds like they're very understanding about it, so they might be understanding of the fact that, like, you know, the Mariah may not have, like, I can't sleep on the floor because I cannot get out of bed off the floor. So a simple thing like when I wake up in the morning, it takes a lot to unlock the back some days, and trying to get my ass off the floor so I can mobilize to the bathroom, like, I'm gonna be crawling. So I'm sure they do have a contact, and I've said at the interview, make sure that you indicate that you need to coordinate with the student liaison, because that's their disability support. But yeah, I'm not worried about the learning side, because I'm looking forward to having that challenge of my brain being actively engaged in structured learning again. I'm worried about mobilizing to the classes. There is an online option though, so if I need to, I might be able to switch to the online option, but I really would like to do it in person so that I can have that interaction and that face-to-face, because like self-directed study I am a-okay at, but it was for, like psychology, it was reading. This is pronunciation. That is something I struggle with, so yeah, I really do want to do this one in person. But we'll see. Again, the interview is this week, so. And then we do have to attend a karakia, and I think that one is on a Tuesday, unfortunately. So that one will have to be a missed stream. I think that was the only one that I was like, I probably have to miss a stream for. The porphyry, sorry. But the dates in the thing are different than the dates they sent in the email. So yeah, again, I'll confirm all that when I get there. We're starting to get a bit of shape to this body now. Body, yaddy, yaddy. You want a strong lion to go with our strong lioness lady. I know, she's hot and she's strong. I like her. The other ones that were mentioned was one member of the group had started the Bumblebee page, which was very cute. The jellyfish one was mentioned, and I was really tempted by the jellyfish, but I know with the jellyfish I want to do them slightly translucent, and I just have to think about how I'm going to do that a little bit more. Like the lion, I knew I could go into and I didn't have to think as much, so it's like I'll start with the lion. I can see myself doing multiple pages in this book though. Like, I really like it. Ashley has a fantastic mind and does some really gorgeous line work. I have a few of his Colouring Heaven issues. He's done quite a bit for Colouring Heaven. So I know I've worked in the Gods and Goddesses one, because I coloured Aphrodite. I also have Kings and Queens, and I haven't worked in that one. And then the current issue, so that won't be here for a few months, is Gods and Goddesses. And that one's so pretty. I'm also really hoping we get the pocket issues, because those are super cute, but I'm guessing we probably won't, because I've been putting out these little issues as well. They're super cute. They look like good portable issues too. Still just working with the Bistre. It's Bistre, isn't it? 179. Yes. My brown colour chart's over there. So yeah, we have a busy night tonight and tomorrow because it's the end of the month. So the goals are to finish the Patreon page and check in with Smalt and see how they're doing with theirs, because it's actually a buddy colour. I have a portrait that I started over at Sammy's that is a bit of a disaster page, so I have to keep fixing that one up. It's fixable, it's just going to take work. And then of course I've got the whip that we carried on with on Sunday after we finished the 2 pages, so I can also work a bit more on that. But I think between the Patreon page and the face page. It'll be good to get those finished. And obviously this one's not going to be finished, but I was aware of that when I started it. So this one is definitely going to be a new whip at the end of the month, but I've finished so many whips this month that I'll be okay with that, you know? Working towards getting our whip list into the single figures. We got 3 new books worked. I mean, I got a few new books. I think I got 3 new books, so. But that's okay. No, I got 4 new books because I also got Animal Adventurers, which I still haven't worked in. I think we're good on the bistro front, so we might grab our brown ochre. We'll use this to blend over our leg on the side here. Sorry, I'm doing the grip again. And we're going to take our Naples ochre and just rework over that yellow. So it's there, but it's not going to be as intense as our bright yellow because that's getting more direct light. Wow. That light's really coming in now, isn't it? Maybe that's why I'm having lighting issues, because these curtains are open. It really, I do not have the best setup for lighting. There we go. And back in the brio. Okie dokie. Beatty, hello. How are you going today, lovely? It's wonderful to see you again. Did that come through?
I demand
You demand. And then it ended. Chaos with the sound alerts. Hey, perfection.
I demand chaos.
There we go. There is the full alert for you. Not great pain day. Hope you are well. Thank you. Yeah, I'm to be perfectly honest, I'm exhausted. I am absolutely exhausted. But we're doing okay. Sorry to hear you're having a bad pain day though, because those are no fun. Wow, sound alerts are taking a while today.
I demand chaos.
Yeah, no, it hasn't even come through to the... Bear with me, sorry perfection. We appear to be having some issues today with the sound alerts. And I just set up newer sound alerts, so... There we go.
Happy, joy, joy.
I just had to clear the queue.
Happy, joy, joy. 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 Happy, joy, joy, joy.
And now that's going to play twice because I sent it through as well. Because I was like, what the heck? Eventually. It may skip me. Oh wait, no, it might be the latest. Nope, nope. I don't know. I'll have to look at that later. It appears to be. Appears to be one of those D's. Right, where's my redeem queue? I'm just going to clear the queue because that could also be the issue. There just could be a lot in the queue. I should set them all up to just skip the queue, to be honest. That would probably help. Yeah, there's 441 in the queue. Let's clear the queue. That might help. Complete all. Yeah, it's been a while since I've cleaned up the queue, so... And when the queue gets a bit long, it gets a bit hard to manage, and it gets a bit delayy, so... But y'all redeem a lot of stuff in the queues, which is what I love. I need to actually go through my alerts, my redeems, and change things to not be in queue, because, like, there's only a couple that technically need to go in queue. Yes, we're working on a lion today. We're working on a page in Mythical Hybrids by Jash. It's a really gorgeous page. So we're just starting with the lion. And then we also have Mythical, which I love her. I love how strong she is. Like, I love all the muscle structure. She's going to be so much fun to colour.
Happy, happy,
there it
joy,
is.
Joy, happy, happy, joy, joy. 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 Happy, happy, joy, joy, joy.
Only took 3 minutes to process. But yes, we're just starting on this one. So my color balance isn't quite right, unfortunately, but it's the best I can get right now. And I'm going to have to tweak all my settings later. It's like a bunch of stuff has just changed in my settings. I actually wonder if maybe the programs have updated. Which just happened. It's like, and then I have to go through and tweak everything again. But I just wasn't in the mood to play with it all this morning. Oh, tired days, physically, emotionally, mentally, all the things today, plus a little headache. Oof. Sounds like a few of us aren't doing well today, you know? So, I hope you'll end up with a better day. Things start coming together a bit better, and, you know, sorry you're going through a tough time. It's not great, you know? And also remember to be gentle on yourself at the moment too. Kind of feel like it's sort of the end of January as well. Like January is such a big month between like all the break for Christmas and New Year's, and then we all come back and we've got to go back to work, and it's like there's all these New Year, new pressures, new expectations, which is ridiculous. It's the reason why I don't set like New Year's goals. Like there's stuff I set for a year, but I don't, because like if you want to do something, just do it. I don't know, I feel like January puts a lot of pressure on us, and it's very easy. January is a very easy burnout month. I also find that like July is a burnout month because it's like the middle of the year and you're just exhausted. Oh, my hair. Go away, my hair. Alright, so we're back with the dark Naples yellow. So we're going to use this on our edges again. Just bring in that lightness, and then I'm also going to use it to highlight some of these muscle structures that we've kind of started building up in here. My year starts in February and ends in October. I like it, perfection. I can't believe January is almost over. I know. I realized the date and I was like, oh my god, I have to film all my end of month stuff. It doesn't feel like it's that time already. But yeah, it's end of the month. I mean, I don't mind filming the end of the month stuff because I really like looking back and seeing everything I did in a month. The what I coloured in month videos are some of my favourite to film. I also have to set up the planner for February. Oh, what are you doing? No, I didn't say that. Please go away. Thank you. January has been so slow for you? That's excellent though. Sometimes it's really good to slow down and just enjoy. Most of my January was of course over in Gisborne, so felt like a very different January, but time always flies when I'm over there with Sammy. We always talk about all the things that we're going to do and we never get to like half of it. I've gotten a lot of colouring done though, a lot of simple pages, but that's what I needed this month. And that's just as valid. There is nothing wrong with simple pages. Like last stream, we finished off 2 pages. One was an old whip, and then one was a simple page as well. Like literally I just spent 45 minutes finishing it off, but it was a page that I was coloring while traveling. Like it's a simple page, but that's what I needed. I needed that distraction. It's just as valid as the Konoko Agusa page that we spent practically all month on. But yeah, I'd like to try and get at least one more page finished off, and ideally 2, because I've got 2 that are nearing, not completely. I've got the Patreon page, which is the Buddy Colour with Smalt, and then I've got the a page that I started, and I started using watercolors to base it, and it was the wrong move. So it's like it's got a bit of a correction to do on it. But once I get the skin finished, it's onto the hair, and I love hair, so I'm not too worried about that one. Alright, so we're going to take our burnt ochre. This is a slightly redder tone that the camera is struggling to pick up in its entirety. But this is what we're going to add over the top to just help bring our fur together, bring in that sort of reddish warmth to the page. Cool, I'm not blocking your view. I'm very excited to do something in this book though. I really like it. Also gonna take our burnt ochre over to this side and just warm up this brown. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, just need a little stretch here. I have 3 henna colours and buddy colours plus 1, maybe 1 milli with you in February. Yes, I have got you down on my list for February perfection, so the milli will definitely happen next month if you are still keen. I have that down on my list. I have milli with you. I have 2 Lulu Mayos, one with Jodie from J.I. Colorist and one with Happy Catastrophe. So I need to message both of them and just confirm that they're still in it. I always leave a slot open for colouring Bumblebee because we're a pretty consistent buddy colour. And depending what I do with colouring Bumblebee, oh, we haven't finished shading there, so don't touch there. Will depend if I choose to do another one or not, because I'm trying to sort of keep it around too complicated and too simple pages for buddy colours. I feel like that's kind of a good amount. So Lulus are considered simple. The Millie could go either way, but I'm counting it as a complicated because it's a new artist and I've got an idea. You still keen? Perfect. Alright, start of February, we'll get started. But But yeah, colouring Bumblebee and I do tend to choose slightly more complicated pages sometimes. Not always, but depends what they're in the mood for, what I'm in the mood for. Usually if we have the same books that have just arrived in, we'll also get started on those. Hey Beans, how are you going today? It's lovely to see you. Alright, so I did do the bistro on this side, so that means we are up to the brown ochre. I mean, technically this is a buddy colour because this is being done with my messenger group chat, but this one, we don't, like the prompts are, we just kind of suggest things and challenge ourselves, but it's not like set in stone, you have to complete it or anything. So I just put forward this one as a buddy colour. So I was like, I should probably get onto it, but also I really wanted to colour a page in this book, so. Good, thanks, how are you? Honestly, I am exhausted. I feel so tired today. I am already looking forward to my nap. I don't know why I'm so exhausted at the moment. I've been sleeping a lot. Might actually need to get my iron checked again. It might be time for another iron infusion. But yeah, other than that, we're doing alright, you know. I'm working on a fun new page. We're just talking about how it's the end of the month and it just kind of snuck up on us all, and plans for next month and colouring. How is yours? How is the Beauty of Horror colouring coming along? Because there's a new one coming out soonish, isn't there? You know, I should reach out to you for a buddy colour in the Beauty of Horror colouring book so that it forces me to work in it. It's a simple page to me, to be honest. I've got ideas for it. Gel pens will be your main colouring. Yeah, I like the sparkle gel pens that you do. I've got ideas for it, and I don't think it'll be an overly complicated one for me. It's quite a good one to start off with Millie. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be really fun when it comes together. So that's why I grabbed that one, because it's like, yeah, I can see myself working on this one, and I've got an idea of how to approach it. So, should be fun. And it helps me work in an untouched book, which is always exciting. But of course, next month is technically February, so I will be also trying to crank out some Fae. We have 2 very special books arriving, so like if I'm in the middle of something, I would not be surprised if I immediately drop and start working on the new books. Using pencils, make sure you use the pages of the Burka books, not all pencils like that paper. Good to know, thank you. It did feel very similar to my D&D colouring book, which hates Inktense, I discovered. So that's one of my big, I've got to fix this page up pages. New pages will do that. New books will do that. Yeah. Well, they are absolute dream books of mine, so I can't wait till they arrive, and I'm so excited to actually work in them. And yeah, like, I would not be surprised if I immediately drop all colouring and just start in those books, because I'll be like, yes. There's going to be a choice of which one we start with as well. Probably the Clara Markova, but the Naoko Neko is so cute. I'm so excited for that one too. Yeah, these are Christmas and Halloween ones reprinted all in one book, and then I think later on next year, or this year or next year's book 7, then there's a storybook to colour, and Evan Roberts is also doing Universal Monsters colouring book with another publisher. Damn, that's quite a bit. This, yeah, it's cool to see just how much is coming out. I've got a few things pre-ordered. I've got Teresa Goodrich Garden Gnomes pre-ordered. I don't have any of her other Gnomes books, but they look super cute. Both of them were out of stock, so I couldn't order Christmas Gnomes or the other Gnomes book. I still need to get Afternoon Tea as well. I got the new Kirby Reflections one, which I know is just a collaboration of all his other books, but I have to. I've also finally got Color Morphia coming, which is the last Kirby book I need for the collection. So once I have Color Morphia, I will have every Kirby book. I have the Critical Role colouring book pre-ordered, the third one, which is Fern Calloway's Fae Adventures or something along that line. It looks like it's a choose your own adventure, but it's also a colouring book. Looks really interesting. And then the other one that I have pre-ordered is actually by Anna Yarden, who I just completed a page of in the Year of the Dragon page. The first part's up on YouTube. I just completed that last night, but I really like the book, and I saw that she's got a new one coming out, which is Goddess colouring, and it looks from the description really good. But also I really like her portrayal of portraiture in tarot colouring, so I did decide to pre-order that one too. Yeah, so I know it's one that probably not too many people would necessarily get, but I'm looking forward to it because I really like the tarot colouring page that I did. It's been sitting on my shelf for a long time, so it was nice to discover and then find out she had another book on the way out. I've been doing adding to the wish list shopping. It's a good way to shop sometimes, you know. Just add everything to the cart and then get horrified at the price and just click out of the browser. I do that a lot. Oh, and I've got a mythographic book coming. It's overdue. That's why I forgot about it. I've got the Crystal Kingdom one still on its way. Now, there's a few more mythographics I'd like to get. I feel like mythographics going to be the next series that I'm like, I need all of them because I've been loving the mythographic books. But yeah, I need to do a big clean up, and I need to face my fears and actually unhaul some books. Because there's definitely books on my shelves that I'm just not drawn to and I'm not colouring in. It's like they deserve some love, you know? Except for the worst colouring book I've ever brought, which is the mushroom colouring book. I don't know what to do with that because I don't feel like I can give that one away. I did have a request to do a flip through of it on YouTube. I just remember that, so... So we're pulling in our dark Naples yellow. We'll use this to just highlight again the muscle structure and those light points and help blend our dark ochre into our bright yellow for our edge highlight. Just make a strong line. I have so many books that I want, but I'm not buying anything. I want to use up what I have, then restock. Yeah, that's a really good way to do it. I need to rein myself in a little bit more with the colouring books. I mean, I love flipping through my uncoloured colouring books, so even if a book isn't coloured, I'm still happy with it. But, I mean, like, my shelf is running out of room. We're running out of room on the shelf, and I'm going to have to rearrange the shelf next to my colouring shelf that holds, like, my art journaling stuff. See if I can get that into the cupboard. And then I'll get an extra shelf for storing colouring stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to show some stuff a bit more love. I have some giant posters that I would love to colour as well. That does mean I also need to rearrange my apartment. And I've been thinking about doing it anyway. So one of the things, like we've been talking today a little bit about the lighting situation, which is something I really struggle with here, because you can see a shadow when I put my hand down, and that's because the majority of my lights are behind me, and I try to counteract it with more lights in front of me, but I also have lights all around me with the windows as well. Like, there's a lot of odd light in this apartment, which is great because, like, when I'm not recording, curtains open, this apartment is just light central. But it produces all these shadows for recording that is really, really awkward to deal with. And part of that is the position of my desk that I record on. So what I thought would be quite good is I have a couch that is literally just a dump zone. I never ever sit on it. I just dump stuff on my couch continuously. So ideally get rid of the couch and then move my dining table, which I barely use as a dining table. It's technically another dump zone. Move that over to where the couch is, and then move my camera setup over to the table, and that would give me a big space to work at that is my table, but then I could still have my desk for like typing and that as well, so I don't have to rearrange every time I switch between streaming and working. But the table would also be a big space, so things like a poster could be worked on, because these posters are like a meter by a meter, or a meter and a half by a meter. Like, they're massive posters, they're giant. So having that big table, which is actually what I used to do art on before I had this desk, would be handy. And then the other thing is, where I would put the table is right in front of the windows, so I just open those curtains right up and we get direct light coming forward, which means the shadows will be going off the page, which also solves one of the big lighting issues. And then I still have extra lights for like filming at night, or when it's cloudy, or I just need to counteract. So yeah, that's something I'd like to do. It's a lot of, like, moving furniture is not easy. And it's like, before I can do all that, I need to make homes for stuff and rearrange stuff. And yeah, so that's just something I have not had spoons for, but it's something I've been thinking about for a little while. Because the other thing I was saying when I was talking to Sammy about this was, it would actually be better if my desk setup was in my bedroom and my bedroom was in the lounge here. Because the bedroom has one window exactly where I would put the desk, and then one overhead light, and so I could have the window open for light, and then it's just all day. But yeah, because I mostly stream during the day, the lounge setup would still work if the table was under the windows. And then I just need to have things on hand for those days when the light is not great. Also use colouring to help me save money. So for every page I complete, it's $5 to put away. It's been helping a lot. Is this the one you showed in your video? I'm not sure what you're referring to, Perfection, because I've just talked about a lot. Oh, the posters? Yeah. It could be if you're meaning the posters, yeah. I have the cool art massive posters, and then I also have the box kit posters. Yeah, it is posters, perfect. Yeah, so I've got so many posters to colour, and it's like one of them I want to colour this year. But right now, like legit, I cannot get them on the desk. There is not enough room on the desk. The desk is not wide enough for these posters. But yeah, the day at the location posters, they are so cute. And like, I'm probably just going to color it with markers. Like, it's not going to be...
Hello Amy and Chad, I hope you are well. I love the shading on this page. Lion, 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 lion.
Thank you, Fid. We're just working with some brown ochre to build up the tones a bit more. But yes, we're working on our strong lady lion page. How are you going? Also, we're just talking about plans and stuff and things I'd like to do, including work on a poster page that I have. I have one that's like day at the museum and it's full of dinosaurs. It's really cool. But yeah, right now, as is, I cannot get them on the desk, so it makes sense. And again, I don't use my couch. Maybe I would use my couch if it was just chilling over there. Yeah. Just waking up. My friend will be coming over later and we'll make jewelry. Heck yeah. It sounds like a wonderful day. And it sounds like a productive day because I know we're heading into a couple of conventions. It's only a couple of months until Armageddon. Which is scary to think about because I need to figure out bus tickets. You need to make more stock for sure, I can imagine. Yeah, at this stage I am still planning on coming down to Wellington for the weekend of Armageddon, and I would love to catch up with you. I want to catch up with Ruby, I want to catch up with Jules, I want to catch up with Andromeda if I can. So like Armageddon's good because I know a bunch of you will be there, and then just have to catch up with the others. They will take you a long time to do, but they will turn out amazing. Yeah, they just look really fun. And like, just using markers in them to colour them in, I think would be simple, but, you know, really effective. And like, it's a poster, it can be bright and colourful, and it can just be flat. It doesn't have to be highly shaded and detailed, because it's also, depending on the poster, like the day of posters, a day at the location posters, sorry, are very cartoony. So yeah, super cute. I've got one that's the aquarium, got one that's the museum, so it's full of dinosaur bones. There's one at like a botanical garden, so it's got like lots of flowers, and then there's one that's at the zoo and it's got like all these cute little animals. They're very cute, and I think they'll be a lot of fun to colour. But room. And in true tradition of the channel, Fudge, you have arrived in on the hour when it is time for us to take our stretch break. So it's been an hour since I've last asked you, do you need to move? Do you need to hydrate? Do you need to take medication? Do you need to grab a snack? Do you need to stretch? Let's move. You know, what do you need to do to self-care? I need to move. I need to move bad. So we're going to get these ads started, and I'm going to get some wiggles going. Oh. Oh. chance to catch up on all the messages too. Look at all those wiggly emotes. I went to look at my emotes this morning too, because apparently they were meant to have doubled, but they have not. But what I have noticed is that the goal to increase them has reduced. So instead of having 35 subscribers, I now only need to have 30. And then we get a new slot. So I think that's what they've done, is they've changed it to every 5 subscribers instead of every 10, which is fantastic. So now we'll get more emotes if we ever hit 30 subscribers. Which, you know, I don't push it because I'm not worried, you know. If it happens, it happens. It's cool and we get more slots. But if we don't, we don't. I'm just glad you're here and you'll vibe. And I know it's tight, so. Oh, the wiggly emotes. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to do another hour check-in on Instagram. How was the bread making last stream? Oh my gosh, it was good. Okay, ads are over. Welcome back, everybody. You went to Adland. I hope you enjoyed your wiggles and your self-care. So I ended up making 2 loaves because the first loaf I messed up on the mix-ins time. It said to put it in at 2 hours 50, so I thought it meant 2 hours 50 into the cycle you add the mix-ins. They actually mean when there's 2 hours 50 remaining on the cycle is when you add the mix-ins. So we made a plain loaf and then we made a second loaf. So I have to tweak it a little bit because I reduced the water, but I only reduced the water by 10 mils, and I needed to reduce the water quite a bit more because the loaf actually sunk in the center. Taste wise though, absolutely perfect, and I've already smashed that loaf. I ate that loaf all of Sunday and all of Monday. It was delicious. So the chili cheese loaf, we need to just tweak it just a little bit more. But if I can fix that, fantastic. But I am out of flour, so I can't make any more bread today. So yeah, I can't do any more until I get some more flour delivered. I did, because I had the spare loaf, I was going to see if one of my brothers wanted it and then be like, if I flick you some funds, can you pick me up some more flour when you come to collect the loaf? But none of them could get to me to collect the loaf, so I guess I have the loaf. I still haven't cut into that one, so yeah, but that's okay, it'll tide me through. I had just enough flour left over to make some pizza dough last night, so that was a fun experiment because I was trying to see if I could make pizza dough. Like, I know I could make pizza dough, that part was fine, but then cook the pizzas in my air fryer. So I need to use less dough to do it because I just split the dough into 2 to make 2 small pizzas, and it's like more like pizza bread. So the dough could be split into 3 or possibly even 4, and I just need to stretch it out more. But yeah, it made excellent pizza dough. So yeah, that was good to know. But as I said, I'm now completely out of flour. So yeah, but I'll get I'm gonna have to get groceries delivered, especially if the elevator's still broken, because there's no way I can carry the groceries up the stairs. So sorry, grocery delivery people. But yeah, and then because they'll deliver it with a trolley, then I'll get like a 5 kg bag delivered. That should tide me over for a while. Yeah, so what I discovered is in my air fryer, yeah, I don't use my oven at all perfection, so this is why I wanted to try it. What I found the best way to do it, because the heat comes from the top, so put your dough in as just your dough and pre-cook it so the top cooks and browns, and then you take it and you flip it, and then the underside that isn't brown is where you put the sauce and your toppings, and then you cook again, and that will give you like a crispy base and a really good pizza base. So yeah, but yeah, it totally worked. Like, again, because I split it into two, I made two. The first one I just dumped and cooked in there, and the bottom, like, it was cooked, but the bottom wasn't crisp. It was very like white and not like a crispy pizza bottom. So yeah, the second one, put the dough in, cooked it for I think about like 10 minutes or so, and then flipped it, topped it, and then just cooked it for like another 5 or 6 until the cheese was all melted and golden, and fantastic. And the second one just so good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the first one. I still ate the first one. It's just missing that little bit of crispiness. Okay, I figured out my affiliate date is the 19th of April. There you go. So April will be a big stream month for you then, possibly. Yeah, so mine is Feb 12th. I can't remember the date I actually started streaming. Again, it was 2015. So we're just going with the affiliate anniversary, which is, I think it's 6 years. I'm sure it's 2018 was when I got affiliate. But I started streaming in 2015 on Picardo, but it's been a journey. So yeah, I'm very excited. I ordered my little mini kit that I wanted to build. And so that's what we're going to do for the stream anniversary. I think technically the anniversary is on a Monday, but I've set to celebrate the anniversary on a Sunday, which is a regular stream day. And that way I don't have to take any time off work, which I could do anyway, but I'm just like, I think we'll celebrate it on a Sunday. Look at that. 9 months. Twitch baby. Yep. So we're just using that burnt ochre again, and we're just glazing over the top and just adding in that little bit of warmth. Am I still in frame? Just in frame. Yes, I think it will be a fun stream, provided my hands are all good for the stream. Looks like my first stream was January 7th. Oh, look at that. Right before my birthday. Smolt! Hello. Hello, lovely. How are you going today? Coming in and straight away looking after me. And also Dio. Hello, hello, hello. Everybody hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate, coming straight in and looking after me. Appreciate you. Enjoy your alert perfection. Enjoy your alert cookie. Wish I had alert cookies. I do have some white chocolate covered Oreos. They're okay. They're not great. Just got home from some shopping. I know I need to hydrate. Valid. Well done on doing the shoppings. I hope it was for fun things and not just boring things, but sometimes the boring things are necessary. If I have to hydrate, I will subject others to liquids too. We appreciate it. We appreciate the good life juice. Mostly for funds. Little sister has been... Whoops. Mostly for funds. Little sister has been cooped up because of repeated snow. She's needed some outside house time. It's valid. It's valid. You did double hydrate, coffee and water. Love that for you. And yes, we are working on a new page from Jash Lee. It is our Strong Lion Women page. It is the Mythical hybrids. Wow, that sounded like something was dropped out there. I think they may be trying to do something on the elevator again. I've been hearing a few tools and stuff. I hope so. They want in a working elevator. I mean, I'm leaving the house on Thursday regardless because I've got to. But... Buff Lion Lady. Yeah, I like it. I like her abs. It's going to be fun to colour. She's strong and doing like lots of muscle tone. Fingers crossed they make good progress on the elevator. Thank you. I hope so. It would be rather nice to be able to leave the house. I mean, I can. I'm not stuck. I can leave the house. It's just a lot. Alright, we still need more of this burnt ochre. I need to work some more layers in here. But yeah, regardless, on Thursday I am leaving the house. So I'm going to wait to order groceries until Thursday. Because if the elevator is working, then I can actually go and collect groceries, and that'll be not only a lot cheaper, but will add to the excursion. But yeah, I've got a few errands to run on Thursday anyway, so... And then the interview for the course. So we'll go out, we'll get a few bits and pieces. There may be a new Colouring Heaven issue. I don't even know what the next one is. I haven't actually checked yet. am I doing? I'm going here. I am searching Colouring Heaven, because this is how I figure out what book is next. I look at their videos and I find the last books that I had. I don't even think I got The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I think we're missing that one. And Grim Fairy Tales. I did get Adorable Animals. I feel like because there's been some weird... Okay, so it would have been the Halloween Compendium, which is the other one. But yeah, I'm going to have to double check. Did I get The Wonderful Wizard of Oz and Grim Fairy Tales? I think I got Grim Fairy Tales. Don't play. Your friend just arrived. All good, hun. Enjoy. Enjoy making the arts. Ah, Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So I did get that one. I haven't worked in Grim Fairy Tales, so... I suppose it's Grim Fairy Tales. Okay, good. I did. I just completely missed it. Sweet. So we did get Grim Fairy Tales. We did get Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Mythical Hybrids. The Hatsune Miku. So the next one would have been the Halloween Compendium, but then they did a switch around for international folks, which was sad because I liked the Halloween Compendium. So I think it's actually a fairies one that's coming. It's like a reprint of issue 26. Which isn't bad because it's coming just in time for February, so it'll be all good. If it's this week, it may be next week. They come every fortnight. But yeah, we're still, like, that's how behind we are. I'm on the Halloween ones. No, it's starting to warm up a bit, and I might have to switch out this blanket hoodie. Hi, Alicia! I recently got that book and haven't worked on it. Angels and Demons was the last one I got. Nice! We are incredibly behind here in New Zealand, so we're only just getting the Halloween issues. But the Angels and Demons is really pretty. And once again, it's the same illustrator. It's Jash. I really like his work, so yeah. How are you going? We are working on Mythical Hybrids. So we're working on page 21, which has this hot, buff, strong lion lady on it, which is very cool. Alright, I feel like we've got the fur down. You got that one and the hybrids one the same month. Oh, there we go. I like the hybrids one. I know there are a lot of people who are like, how do I even color this? But I think it's really cool. Like, I don't have anything that's like it. And it's the same as anything. Just break down and work on a shape at a time. Alright, so we're going into the paws now. So the front of the paws are definitely lighter. So we're going to bring in our warm greys again and build up some light tones. I'm really hoping we get the pocket issues here. I really like the pocket issues. I don't know if they'll come in though, but the Christmas ones are they'll be in the next couple of months. And so I'm hoping that when the Christmas issues come, we do also get the mini pocket ones. So I might go and, when I pick up my next issue, talk to the shop owners and just be like, hey, so these ones are coming. Do you know if you can get them? because they look super cute. Especially like the under the sea pages. Yeah, the jellyfish was a strong contender for me to colour. And I do really want to colour the jellyfish. This one we went with instead, or rather I went with this one because I set the buddy colour for the group. I went with this one because I felt like this one was more approachable. The jellyfish I want to do translucent, and that involves quite a bit more thinking, and I'm just not in the mind space to think about it right now. So this one was a little bit more like, I can tackle this one, I know how to approach this one, I knew what colours I wanted to do, I knew how I wanted to approach it, so it was like, this is a no-brainer, we're going for the lion page. Plus I really like colouring abs, so hey River, sleepy, that's valid. I'm feeling very sleepy myself. Sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. Right, so we've got a little bit of our warm grey in there, and now we'll start working with our brown ochre. Just start bringing the two together. But yeah, I know I want to, with this one, have a strong yellow background. You can see the yellow edge lighting. We're going to create it going from dark to light, so it is definitely being backlit back here. Sorry, let me zoom you out a bit so you can see the whole page. And I'll get rid of the line for a minute. Thank you, Small, for doing the shout out for Rivy. Because if you enjoy chill arts, you will enjoy Rivy. It is a good chill time over there. But yeah, the background, I know I want to have this bright yellow and then coming in, so like the light is coming through the trees, and then like a bit of a tunnel effect, which will also pull all your focus on her. It was suggested we do the fabric sheer, which we could look at doing. That'll be really fun. Lots of like golds as well, so doing non-metallic metals. It's going to be a lot of the same tones as well, which will be like lots of browns to pull through, but then there will be pops of green because of all the grass down here. Yeah, we'll work on all the background elements. I mean, the line's not really the background, but you know, it's not her. She's going to be last because we'll be pulling colors from the lion, and we'll have a balance in place because I would have done all the green, so we'll know if I need to bring more green into her outfit. But I just see lots of like rich golds and dark chocolatey browns and just lots of those sort of tones. I don't know how to do abs, so I'll be making a copy to practice first. That's always a good idea if you're unsure. I will be colouring this whole thing on stream as well, so hopefully it can help break down abs for you. A lot of it is just making sure you've got definition and contrast in there, just so that you've got to show that there is shape, and like these guidelines in there, but there's also understanding that the muscle structure and just amplifying it. Although Jash Lee has drawn a lot of the ab muscles in there, which makes it a lot easier. And Rivy, if you need to go to sleep, hun, because you're feeling sleepy, please do. Naps are very important. And if your body is telling you you need to rest, you need to listen to your body. I am very bad at listening to my body. I am listening to it though. I'm aware that I do need to rest today, so we won't be doing like an extra long stream. I'm going to take this off because my hand is sweating so badly in this compression gear. Thank you, I'm glad you're doing it on stream. No worries. The colouring group that I'm a part of actually asked for me to record the process, and I thought about doing it as a direct YouTube tutorial, but I feel like when I'm doing it on stream, I explain things a lot better because it's a lot more natural to me. And then also as I'm colouring, if you all have questions, you can also like actually ask for clarification or anything like that. I mean, you can on videos, but I just feel like I explain things more organically when I'm doing it live. So, and then like they can watch the VODs. Which means that it is going to be long videos, but it's okay. It's going to be a long page. This is not going to be a quick one. Especially because we're using just polys again. But y'all, I've really been enjoying just colouring a page with polys lately. I've also been enjoying colouring pages with just ink tints. And then I've been enjoying colouring pages with a ton of different media. So yeah, we're just using the Bistro now. Just bringing in our slightly darker golden tone. But I'm going to try and leave those edges free because again, that would be catching the light. Self-care is mandatory. It absolutely is. I wish I'm at my desk. You're just 1,000% more interesting. Yes. I'll take that because I feel very blah today and very flat. So I will take that I'm interesting. Yeah, I almost cancelled stream today because I was just like I was not feeling it, but I was like, nope, you play your hype music, you go for your little get into stream routine. You just make sure you're comfy and cozy. You don't have to be flash looking. And then once you get there, like, you'll get the energy. Because you'll make me, like, it helps. Streaming helps, you know? There's an energy that comes off all you guys hanging out with me and chatting and just being able to describe stuff. We're working back with the brown ochre just to blend in that bistro. Wrist is so itchy now. I've taken the... Do you enjoy the lives? I'm glad you do, Alicia. Rivi, I see the sound alert. My sound alerts are working very, very slowly. It may take a couple of minutes to process. I am not sure what's going on today with sound alerts. And it's like I just set up new sound alerts too, so it'll play eventually, and if it doesn't, I'll refund you the points. Been kind of forcing them. It's like they're getting stuck in the queue. In fact, I might try that again. Try clearing the queue again. Yeah, sound alerts is also sleepy today. I might just leave the queue popped out. And we'll just refresh the browser source. And see if that brings it through. I'm going to hear you regardless. Thank you. Yes, I got a... Ugh. It's not going to come through, is it? We'll do it this way. My alerts. Channel points. So you were playing Applause, which is here. You can pause it this way. It's technically not being set through to OBS this way. But I did set up Success, which is our victory sound. Which some of you may recognize what that's from. And then we also have a... So I got that much done. I need to make fresh Japanese curry more often. Yes. So good. Yeah, it hasn't even played Rivi's one yet. Oh, let's go back to the dashboard. Something went wrong when loading sounds. That could be the issue. Sound Alerts is having some real issues today. Alright. I'm just going to refund your points. And if it does process it, it's going to process it. But we're just going to refund your points because I don't think it's going to work properly today. It was a little glitchy when I was also trying to adjust some sounds earlier and change some volume levels. So I don't know why I'm working up here. This did not need work at all. We're meant to be working down here on the feet. So I'm just going to deepen the shadows at the points. And then, oh, I closed our little example. Those alerts were very loud. Yeah, because those were the unfiltered ones played direct on the desktop. They're not coming through the bot where I have the sound adjustment. So, after I refreshed the queue and then refreshed it a couple of times, the text did work. It's the sound alerts themselves that's not working, but the TTS is still working. So it's like it's working, it's just not processing the sounds. But TTS had no issues, that came straight through. But yeah, I cleared the queue, I've refreshed the source a few times, and then when I look at the actual stream, the sound alerts page, it is saying that it's having issue loading sounds at the moment. So I think it's just the sounds themselves that are having issues. Alright, so what I was going to do is, this is to create some shadows around the claws, where there is some gaps. Yeah, it's just having a day. So if anyone redeems sound alerts and it's just not going to work, I'll just refund points. I mean, it may eventually come through. We will see. I know last time they did come through and they took about 4 minutes to process, but we're at 5 minutes and Rivy's applause hasn't come through yet. So, yeah, I just think it's just having a day. That's okay, you know? Sometimes these things happen. In fact, what I might do, what might help, is I might actually just refresh the page as well. See if that helps, and we'll just re-log in. Because right now, Rivy and Smolt, what happens is you press the button on Twitch, it gets sent through to sound alerts. Yeah, it's still saying something is wrong. Sent through to sound alerts. Sound alert pulls the sound from their library, sends that through to my OBS, which then plays the sound. So right now, Twitch is recognizing that you're redeeming the sounds, but it's not being sent through to sound alerts. And sound alerts is saying there's an issue loading sounds right now. Yeah, so it's just a sound alert issue right now, and I'm sure they'll fix it. We're all allowed to have a day. Exactly, we all have days, and there's a lot of like technical stuff that goes on with these things, so I'm sure they'll figure it out. But when I eventually do get my spoons sorted enough to learn the streamer bot, what I'll be able to do is, rather than you guys have to spend channel points, you'll actually just be able to type a command in chat and it can play sounds. So we might still have some sounds that are channel points, but we might have some sounds that you can literally just pull up in chat. And that way too, on the YouTube side, you guys can also do sound alerts, because it'll be linked to the bot rather than the external application that then links to my OBS. So we'll be able to set up like applause as just a generic, like you can clap, or you know, maybe something like I have arrived for when you arrive and you want to be like, hey, I'm here. And there's a lot of like, we can start doing sounds for individual people if people want sounds to arrive in. Like for FUD, we could literally have something that FUDs, or you know. But yeah, I just have not had the spoons to look at that application, and every time I look at it, I'm just highly confused and I just close out of it. Because like legit, it's coding. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm confused. And I know Samsara and Via, like, it's easy, it's okay. And I just look at it and it's gibberish and it's confusing. And the language and all the symbols move around. And it's like all these bits. And I'm like, I don't understand what I'm doing. And I'm sure if I sit down and work on it for a while, it will come together, but it's several hours for me to learn that process of me being at full capacity. And genuinely speaking, like these last couple of months, I have just not had the capacity. My brain legit feels like it is chugging and has been chugging for months. Right, so we're going to take our dark Naples yellow and we'll bring this around the top of the feet and the edges and just grab those top sections that would be a bit lighter. And then we're going to have to use our brown ochre just to blend it in a bit more. Before we do that, we're actually going to grab another warm grey. So I'm going to grab warm grey. I'm using 2, so we'll grab 4. I'm going to make this really, really sharp. I'm just going to bring this along the bottom because I like the lightness and the grey being down here because they are lighter at the bottom, but also because this is the bottom where there's no light, it would be a bit more in shadow. We just need to darken it up slightly just to indicate the lack of light down here. But we definitely want more of a grey white tone down here. And we'll come back in with our warm grey too. Just help blend that out a little bit. Alright, I'm doing the chimp grimp and blocking your view. And we take our brown ochre and we're just going to go over everything to help bring it all together. Very, very lightly. Again, it's a glazing layer. Just about smoothing out those pigments and evening up the tone. So it's very minimal pigment we're putting down. Oh, we've had a hydrate and a stretch. Thank you so much. Thank you, Smelt. Gonna get me something to eat. Good choice. Could try doing one easy. Yeah, I'm sure we can. Again, it is just I need a day where I have function to learn. And that's it. Like, legit, if you told me something right now, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. I legit feel exhausted. And I've been running on exhaustion for a couple of months. I thought when I finally got my B folate injection that might help, because I know when my folate is low I do get really tired, but I'm still feeling exhausted a couple of weeks later. So this is why I'm like, okay, maybe I need to go and get my iron levels checked because my iron may be low again. So there's a couple of things that I tend to go through and check when I'm chronically exhausted for months. But yeah, like there's also emotional at the moment for why I'm sleeping a lot at the moment, and it's just this core exhaustion that's not going away. So alright, so we've got our burnt ochre, and again we're just going to warm up. I'm going to focus this on the top half. Like, I looked at the video editing software that Vi sent through for me to try, and I looked at it and it's straightforward, it's simple, it's basically the same as the video editing software I'm using now, but in a much friendlier layout. And even I couldn't process that. I was just looking at it, it's like I can't even process how to deal with this right now. So yeah, when it came to editing last night, I was just like, nah, we're going for Old Faithful because I don't have to think. I just put things in. And it's like, their other program should be simpler, but it's going to take more spoons for me to think about it right now, and that's just something I don't have. And that's why I feel like a lot of my colouring this month as well has been these pencil only gentle pages, because once I figure out the colours, it's just sitting there and mindlessly swirling colours, and that's quite good for my brain. Alright, so we've got a little section here where it just juts out a bit more strongly with the blending. So we're just going to work over that a little bit and just smooth that out and just bring our shadow down a bit here too. So right now I'm using OpenShot Editor. It's pretty straightforward, it doesn't do a lot, but it's good for just trimming out the ends. I can put some captions on so I can title the pencils that I'm using. Doesn't do anything fancy, but it does the job and my computer can handle it. But once I reach a certain amount of footage and a certain amount of cuts, my computer can't handle it. And that's where Vias come in, because CapCut have an online browser editor, which is great because then I could edit on the go on my phone because it's browser based. And it does do a couple of features that I wanted to have, so I can like zoom in on certain areas or highlight certain areas, and it still looks very simple. So I'm just going to play around with that. I might try to do some shorts or something, or just do some small videos and just play around with that, but again, spoons. And so like last night when I finished off my Year of the Dragon page, I was just like, nah, slap it together and open shot, because it's just brainless for me now in there. Right, so we've got the claws themselves, which are sort of like a very pale yellowy brown. So we're going to start with our warm grey 2. Then we'll bring in some warm grey 4. So we're going to work this under the fur where there'll be a bit of a shadow and towards the bottom. Keeping in mind that these are like rounded, so there would be a side that would be getting more light, and then keeping our shadows on the side that would not be getting light. Going to use that dark Naples yellow and just lightly glaze over the top to bring our yellow into the nails. Then we'll go back over with our warm grey 2 after we give it a bit of a sharpen. Not bad, not bad, not bad. It's just darkening up some of our shadows with our brown ochre. Just blending out any areas that needs a little bit more blending. Nah, I actually entirely missed the comment, but yes, that does make sense. That was a very cute game last night. Right, I think we're up to the main. So I just need to add our warm grey 4, which I think is 273. Alright, and so then we're going into the main. So I am going to put the main on a separate line just because we're just about out. We're probably going to use very similar colours. We can already put down that we've used our bright yellow and our Van Dyke brown because we've already used those two on there when I was marking out where the tones are. So 106 and 176. So with the mane, unlike the body, which is all the short fur, we've got the long hair, and I love doing hair. So we're going to start with the darker section because that's going to be a little easier for me to process. So one of the big things about hair is you need a really sharp tip, and this is also why I like using polys because they hold their tip a lot longer. And we're going to be working in long lines, and we're going to follow the flow of the hair, keeping in mind that hair does go a bit wild and does go in all directions. So we're starting with our darks, and honestly I should probably actually start with dark sepia now I look at this, and maybe even some black. Pencil tips are the only thing that are sharp today. You are absolutely correct. So I'm going to pull out the black, and I'm also going to pull out the dark sepia, which is pretty sharp already. And then I do also have the sandpaper nearby so that we can keep sharpening without having to wind down our pencils. So we are actually going to start going in with the black because this part of the line is quite dark. It is quite a dark brown. So we want to bring in that variance, and that will also allow us to bring dark brown into our main character as well, which if you look at the reference, the tail is dark brown, so I am thinking for her hair we might try and do an ombre, so we do light to dark, and then her tail will also be dark. So yeah, just gentle flicks starting at the shadow and then flicking it out, and that gives you like a tapered line. Sammy's funny. She is funny. She's wonderful. Great at making us smile. I feel a bit more together after food. Food makes a difference. I did eat breakfast today, so it's not breakfast. That's the issue here. But yeah, definitely having not eaten can really affect a lot of stuff. So we're just trying to break the hair up into sections and just create that shape and movement hair has. And if you look at here, these some sections where the lines will be like these almost like hills and valleys, and these some sections where it's like closer together, and some sections where it will be further apart as well. So I'm gonna here we're going to have to do quite a bit of a gradient over to the light, because as well as this possibly having a bit of the lighter section, we've also got the light to consider here. So this would also lighten the hair up a lot. So we'll extend our shadows back a bit, and then as we work lighter and lighter, we'll bring our colours across. So anywhere where there is sketched in layers, that's a real easy place to add in our black, because any layers on top would be casting a shadow onto the layer below. I'm just a high functioning exhausted person. You know, when an NPC starts walking into the wall, it's like that. I've joked for years life is like a video game, and while some people are like on the final boss battle and having complete victory, I'm still running into walls and still looking for the instruction manual. Don't make me cackle at work. Look, if you can't have a giggle at work, then like, how do you get through the day? You gotta be able to laugh. So we've got the same thing up here too, where we'll be moving into the light. So I'm not going to fully go over the Van Dyke brown that I did up there. And then in some of these bigger sections, we'll just add in a couple of darker lines. But you can see the texture of the mane starting to come forward now, even with just the one colour. We're starting to get a little, like our lines are starting to get a bit universal, and it's getting harder to get those super thin lines. So we're just going to sharpen. That's where sandpaper's great. Sharpen the tip so that we can start getting our really thin lines back. Because you can always come in and add more lines. So we're going to do a little bit around the bottom here. We've got another overhang here, so we'll define that one. Another one here. I'm trying to avoid doing too much black at the bottom, because we are going into the dark shadow of the skin here, and we want to still have that definition that this is fur. So there's two ways to do that. We either go really, really dark underneath, but because this is going to be darker, the other option is that we lighten the ends, which is often what happens with hair. Your ends will appear lighter because it's less strands of hair that is like catching the light more, and then you've got that translucency. So often at the ends I will do them quite light, and that helps them stand out. Another trick I'll do with hair often is I'll do actual strands coming off the edge individually, but that will be a final step, and I usually do. I'm really liking the ivory Posca. I'm probably going to have to get more because of how much I've just used that ivory Posca in the last couple of days. One of my hobbies is trying to make people spit out their food or drink. Oh my god, I've done that one time where I've been on the other end and someone told a joke and I'd just taken a mouthful of food and I literally spat it in their face because I was laughing. And I was like, oh my god, I am so sorry. They're like, it's kind of a compliment. And then they went and washed their face and I was just so mortified. All good, Ribby. Have fun. I hope your friend is doing well. Gouache is very interesting. I'm looking forward to being able to dabble in it eventually. we need a little bit more down here. And just bring it a bit down here. Alright, so now we take our next darkest colour, which is our sepia brown, and while we're here, oops, sorry, hitting the camera, that's always great. So black is 199 and sepia is 175, dark sepia. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to work over the lines that we've already got, and we're either going to extend them, and then we're going to add in some dark sepia ones that are a bit shorter. So it's just extending what's there and adding to. And you'll see as you do it that the hair really starts to become defined as hair as we start adding a few more colours in. You can see I'm kind of also twisting my pencil just to try and get the sharpest edge on it, and just keep working it around, and then when it starts feeling a bit blunt, that's when we go in and bring the tip back. Oh goodness, it's stretch time. Right, I am going to chuck you on the Be Right Back screen quickly because I need to pee. Make sure you do some self-care. I'll see you all in 3 minutes. Alright, thank you for bearing with me. That feels much better. Oh, good, Alicia. I forgot to do... Since we seem to be doing this today. Nope, not YouTube. Instagram. Stories. Our furry. Alright. Let's carry on with our dark sepia. Feels much better though. Getting a bit of a wiggle, bit of a stretch in, and also bathroom. And then, as you can see, I also took my blanket hoodie off because it's hot. I miss being able to snuggle under them. Can't wait till it cools down just a bit so I can feel comfortable wearing one again. Here it needs a couple more strands. But we're getting there. Alright, now we can go back to our Van Dyke brown, which is the brown we used originally. And start extending more. So now we'll start having strands that actually connect right up. And sections that are going to start looking very like solid colour. Good, I did unmute the mic, that always helps. Oh my goodness. I should put some lunch on actually. Should do that. Should put it on in the air fryer at a low temperature, and then it can just sit in the air fryer and cool down slightly. And it'll be ready by the time I'm ready to call it for stream, which that was our last ad break. I can tell that I'm gonna need to go to bed soon. I'm definitely fading. It's either drink a ton more coffee, another energy drink, and push through, which will result in quite a nasty headache. Or listen to the fact that my body is telling me, hey, we're still exhausted, despite the fact that you slept all day yesterday, had a nap after work last night, and then went and crashed in bed immediately. You're back. Welcome back, Alicia. We're just working away on this mane still, but it is like you can see how we're starting to get that texture of the hair now. So now what I like to do, because our hair down here, like it is quite a chocolatey brown, so I'm going to use the Van Dyke brown to help really define some sections, because there's some sections that naturally form as you do this technique. Some are sketched in, but some you just kind of develop by the way of the line placement. So it's just a way to sort of push that texture just a bit further. You can come back and do this at any time. It's not like a needs to be done now thing, but I'm just seeing a few that we can sort of push a bit more. Alright, so now we need our next brown. So we've used Van Dyke. I actually think burnt umber would be a good one potentially. Because Van Dyke is very cool, and burnt umber is still a brown but with a bit of warmth. Or if we look at what we've used before, Bistray was the next one, which Bistray is kind of like a highlight colour around here. So I do think we want burnt umber, which is 280. So now I've got to check my nubs. 177, no. I think you're 280. Because no other browns end in a 0. Yeah, so this is my burnt umber. It's very close to a nubbin. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm listening. This is definitely going to be the last section before I go down. I know I need to go down. It feels like the sort of day when I'm going to get the chronic fatigue waves. And I know the price I pay if I don't listen to those waves. Like, they hit you, they literally feel like a wave hitting you. And when they hit, it's like, okay, you've got 20 minutes to get into bed, and sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's like, you just need to stop and stop now. And it's like, once I hit that bed, I'm asleep. That's why I'm like, maybe I should put my lunch on now, so that I don't have to wait for my lunch, and I can just literally eat some food, crawl into bed, and pass out until work. So this is going to be very similar to the Van Dyke brown, but it is just a little warmer. I was hoping we'd get our line finished today, but I genuinely don't think we're even going to get that far, to be honest. But that's okay. This is not going to be a one and done. This is going to be a process. And like, it's starting to come together. You can see it coming together. Yeah, it is exactly that small. It is emergency maintenance. It happened a couple times when I was driving too, which was really scary. You can push through them, but the headache that you get is just not worth it. And there were times when I drove and the waves would hit, I just had to pull over. And it's like only 20 minutes. You just have to close your eyes, but you're going to pass out immediately asleep. It's just pure exhaustion. And so like you just have to stop what you're doing, and I know when they're starting to hit because I can feel it, because it's like if you've ever seen a baby trying to fight sleep and they're like, it feels like that on your body. Like you can feel yourself shutting down, you can feel yourself just going, and it's like, oh, okay. And it's just everything feels like you're underwater. And so it's like, I know I've got a few minutes to basically get my ass in bed because I'm going to pass out asleep. And if I fight through it, which I do more than I should, then I'm going to end up with a nasty ass headache. And even like just a simple act of going to bed, even if I don't fall asleep, but I've just got videos playing, even that can be enough to just rest through it. But yeah, it's like you'll go to sleep. They used to only be 20 minutes, but they're becoming longer, which is another reason why I'm like, oof, maybe I need to check my iron. But yeah, it would be like I'd lie down for 20 minutes, and then it's like, boom, you're awake, and you're the like most awake that you get. It's the most refreshing nap. Like, it's wonderful. They're just a pain in the ass when they hit. You get those? Yeah, so you understand the waves. Like, until I spoke to somebody who got it, and they were like, I get that too. And it's like, yeah, you just have to listen to it. Yeah, and it's different from like a normal exhaustion nap. Yeah. Well, no, because I've still been sleeping a lot small, plus I'm still waking up exhausted. Again, I genuinely do think that possibly a thing is low again. I started feeling this way last time my iron was low. It's a common, like, my iron low is a very common issue for me. It's been an issue my whole life. I just don't seem to absorb iron. But they changed the funding regulations here, and now I am allowed to get iron transfusions. And that was a huge change for me, because once I got that transfusion, so much better. But it's been about 7 months, and they can last anywhere from 3 months to a year to 2 years for some people. So it's not like a bad thing for me to check it. Like, I don't even need to see my doctor. I'll just flick my doctor a message through the application system and just be like, hey, I'm feeling exhausted all the time. I have a suspicion my iron may be low again. Could we just do a test when I go and get my next blood test? And I'll just flick it through. And then if it's low, I'll just go in and get another transfusion. Like, it's a real easy thing to sort. So I just have to flick my doctor a message. And she won't even bat an eyelid at this request. It's the hardest thing to explain, the difference between those and exhaustion, to people who don't get them. Yeah, and that's what I find. It's like, it is exhaustion, but it's a different kind of exhaustion. And it's so hard to explain. And he's like, you still have exhaustion naps, but then there's chronic fatigue naps, and they're very different naps. So yeah, I know I need an exhaustion nap, and the way I've been feeling lately, I wouldn't be surprised if I also have to take a chronic fatigue nap today. But yeah, it's definitely an exhaustion nap is what's being needed. So that means that I'll go to bed, but I may not fall asleep immediately. There's one of the big key differences. If I fall asleep immediately, it is usually that I'm feeling the chronic fatigue waves, which is what happened last night with you, Sammy, is that like I was right on the verge of editing and I could feel it hitting, and I was like, okay, get your ass to bed, get yourself situated, message Sammy and be like, I've got to ring you now. And then you happened to message and say, let's ring, and I was like, perfect. And then by the time I'd answered your call, I was already going. I was like right on the verge of going. I remember answering your call, and I remember you chatted about something, but that was it. Like, I could tell I was going. Kind of like you run between levels 2 and 4 on exhaustion, gain 5th level, take a nap to go back to 4th, but you still have 4 levels of exhaustion. It's kind of a way to explain it, yeah. Basically, they suck though, and if someone says they have chronic fatigue, like, it's more than just tiredness. It's very difficult to explain. It is a weariness that is more than just your body being tired. It is more than just pure exhaustion. It's just, God, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like, because like, I mean, I've been saying all day, I just feel like I'm struggling to process. It's more like the exhaustion, I can still process maybe on 20%. And things will still tick along. They tick along slowly, but they will tick along. With the exhaustion, with the chronic fatigue, things stop, and like other things are still trying to work, but things have stopped, and then there's like somebody also jamming up the gears, and you're still trying to fight through this, but the only way to make it work is you just need to break apart the machine. Okay, go and rest. Like the exhaustion, even when you're bone weary exhausted, you can still just push through it, and it comes at a cost. But the chronic fatigue, like, you don't want to push through. And again, technically you can, but it's really not worth it. It's like someone else is taking over the machine too. That's probably another better way to explain it. It is literally like you're not in control of your body, because your body is just being controlled by something else. There's probably better descriptions on the internet that someone with more capability is used to describe it. Alright, I am going to just pause here for a moment. I am going to go and chuck some food in the air fryer, because that'll take like 15-20 minutes, which means when I'm done, which will be in less than half an hour, my food will be cooked, and I can just wolf that down and then go and crash, and then I will at least get lunch today instead of doing what I have been doing, which is crashing and then not eating and waking up starving. Ooh, and I will also hydrate. Thank you, Smalt. Ooh. So today we are having what I affectionately call a dump lunch. It's where I dump something pre-made from the freezer into the air fryer, and then I dump salad from a bag. But sometimes that's all you got the spoons for. And at least we're eating, which means I can take more medication. And again, if I don't eat, I'm going to wake up starving. And then I'm going to eat all sorts of crap. Or just forget to eat and only drink coffee. Drink piles and piles of coffee. And then be like, oh crap, I haven't eaten again. I wonder why I'm spinning. Feed is best. Whatever gets the food in. Exactly. It's like, you know, like I said to, I can't remember who, but I say it often. It's not about subtracting, it's more about what can you add. So like what I've got in the air fryer is a lasagna topper. It's like a breaded meat sauce thing. It's like the meat sauce of a lasagna, but it's breaded and deep fried. Yeah, it's not the greatest food in the world, but it's one of those things that's real easy for me to grab out of the freezer and dump it in the air fryer. It's an easy cook, especially on a bad inflammation day or a no spoons day. It's one of those dump and cook meals. And it's like, well, rather than get rid of something that I know is an easy staple for me that guarantees that I'll eat, what can we add to it to make it a bit more nutritionally balanced? Salad. Salad from a bag is easy. We dump that on a plate. We get some greens in. We make it a bit more balanced. So, and we still get something that is really quite delicious and is also very easy for me to eat and very easy to prepare. So always just think, what can I add rather than what can I take away? You want a slice of pizza? Eat a slice of pizza. Chuck some spinach on top. You want ice cream? Have an ice cream. Maybe have a banana split. Then you get some fruit. And then you get some fiber. You get some nuts on top. You know? Exactly. You know, as long as you are managing to eat something, whatever you're managing to eat, that's valid. Because I know there's a lot of people who do forget to eat or have food struggles, and it's like, you know, whatever keeps you going, that's what you have to do. There's enough in this world to trouble us without also having to beat ourselves up over every single item that we eat. And some days you just have to have a chocolate day. And it's just chocolate. And that's fine. I popped back in at the right time, it seems. Chronic fatigue nap is my key phrase for January. Just listen to the conversation on doing a quick task and hear you describe and talk about chronic fatigue was so validating. I'm glad. It's one of the things that I do try to do on stream is, you know, like I take my medication on stream. I will, if it's injection day, I'll take my injection on stream. Because we should normalize the fact that, you know, we're not 100% all the time. I'm not going to sit here and be like 2000% all the time, because I'm not 2000%. I have days when I'm low. I have days when I'm energetic and high and full of energy and full of beans. You've been here during those streams where I'm just like, hi, how are you? Yada, 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 yada. Those days happen too. We have days when we're up. We have days when we're down. Different things affect us. It's just part of how it goes. It doesn't make it any less if you have a day where you're just like, I can't do anything today, you know? Today I showed up, and that's valid. You know, they say, you know, give your 100%, but your 100% might only be 2%. And sure, you'll give that 2%, and that means you're giving 100% because you only had 2% to give. Right, so now we've got our bistro. So this is our light ochre type color, but it's a slightly darker desaturated version. So this is going to be our main highlight color on the fur. So we're going to be focusing this more on the ends and the areas that are white, but we still want to leave some white areas because here also has a really sharp highlights often. So we actually don't need to cover everything. And then on these edges here where I've got the yellow, I'm actually going to bring that up a bit because I just did it as a flat outline, but of course here's not flat. So we'll actually bring those highlights in a bit and we can bring our bistro down into it once we give it a bit of a sharpen. Sammy, the sandpaper has been so helpful. I've got a big sheet of it now, thanks to Sammy. So I'm covering up some of the white, but we're also leaving some of the whites. If you find it too extreme, you can actually color in everything. I do like to leave a little bit of white, but also keeping in mind where things would have light naturally hitting versus where it wouldn't naturally hit. So we've got the same thing up here where we'll work our bistro into the yellow and then we're going to work the yellow back up and bring that in a bit more. I'm actually going to bring a bit more down here. In fact, I'm also going to grab the dark ochre and work that in a bit more down here too, because this is getting a lot of backlight. So we'll bring our yellow around a little bit, our dark ochre. That one's a bit intense, we'll tone that one down. Same thing around here, because we'd have a little bit coming through. Bring our yellow in a bit more. I'm going to work a bit more of that dark ochre in, because I feel like it just helps the blend a little bit. It gives that golden glow. We're going to bring this in for some of our highlights as well, not all of them, just like little touches of warm yellow. So now we're going to take our Van Dyke brown. So this is our main brown. So we're going to use this to just fill in any areas where there should be shadows and just help define our hair a little bit more. Sometimes when you add in the lighter tones, you can lose some of the shading. So we're just going to bring out some of our darker strands. And just focus on making sure all our shadows are good. And then anywhere like here, where you've got strands on top of strands, making sure we blend back into it. In fact, I'm going to take a little bit of dark sepia and also bring that up a bit. It just helps break up the end of this a bit. And we will do the same thing on this side when we've coloured in that section. We will use grey. Do you want to switch to warm grey one? Yeah, I think we will. We want our light here. So, nice sharp, like warm grey one. Can use white. I will probably still go over with Posca to really help define this, but I'm going to bring this right into the tips at the bottom and just help lighten those ends. Just make them stand out a little bit from the rest of the body. And then in turn with our dark sepia, use that to cut into the bottom because this is what we used as our shadow colour under here. Just create the illusion of loose hairs at the bottom here. Pushing things back, pulling things forward. If need be, you can also use this on any of the wider sections that are remaining if you do want to add a little bit of colour in there. Or tone down any of these like bright yellow sections, or just help blend it together a bit. I do want to take our bright yellow and just go in here because I did miss this one when I did all the edges. Use a little bit over here as well, especially as we get into the lighter section. Once again, make sure we track our colour. So we used 270 and we also used the dark Naples. So you want 270, 184. course, we've still got the top half, but we've already set our colours, so we will be using similar colours again for our top half. Just bringing it in a bit lighter to give that little bit of variation between the two sections. I'm just doing what I did before, where I said I was defining sections a bit more. There we go, there is a lion. Well, mostly of a lion, we've still got the rest of the mane to do, but that is where we're going to call it for today, because as I said, I'm running on exhaustion levels and we're going to self-care. So I'm going to eat some food and then we're going to go for a nap, because we'd normally end in about 20 minutes. You napped. I'm glad to hear that, Jules. I'm about to go and do the exact same thing. Naps are wonderfully important. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very pleased with how it's coming out. We've still got obviously quite a bit more to go, but for a start on the page, we've made some progress. We started figuring out our colours and it's starting to come together. So we would normally find somebody to raid. I honestly don't even have the spoons for it. I'm not going to stick around, so I'm not even going to worry about a raid today. As much as I love finding some place to put you, I don't even have the energy to hang around, so we're just going to call stream here. It's been wonderful to hang out with you all, and I'm glad I did push myself for this, because I have enjoyed it. But as I said, we're at the end of my rope for today, so this is where we're going to call it. But I know that there are a bunch of awesome streamers that stream tonight. Vi usually streams tonight, Ruby usually streams tonight. I know Sammy was contemplating trying to make Tuesday a regular thing. I don't know if she's streaming tonight. Bunch of cool people will be streaming tonight. There's a bunch of cool people on already, so I'm sure you can find somebody to go and chill out with. And in the meantime, we will be back on Friday. I will be able to tell you all about my interview with the Tobago course, and you are heavily considering it tonight. There you go. There's another cool person who may be streaming tonight. Yeah, Tuesdays are a busy day for streaming. There's a lot of people on. It's very cool. Yeah, but we will be back on Friday. In the meantime, let's do the proper thing. Let's put up the socials. It's pretty easy. I'm Amy Ward everywhere, so if you want to follow everywhere, consider it. There is part 2 of the Year of the Dragon video coming out this week, and then that should be Wednesday, and then Saturday should be my what I completed in January video. So those are always fun, so you get to see everything I create. Patrons, there will be some stuff coming out this week too, hopefully. Should be. I'm working on it. And yeah, just thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you all, and I'll catch you all at the next stream.